What is up, Aries? How are you guys doing? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's going on with you guys in the third week of September. So remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. If any of you need a personal reading, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. I have a link for it right down here in the description. For those of you catching this on time, tomorrow, Saturday, September the 13th, is going to be our next round of live readings right here on this channel. You can pre-order on my website, and like always, the list of pre-orders is pretty small. Last week, somebody got pissed off because they were shoved to the back of the line. That's why I tell you all this at the beginning of these videos, because the ones that come in first get read first. If you wait till I'm live and you end up being at the end of the line, sorry, we read them in the order of which they come in. So don't come bitching about it. I try to tell you that every time. So the list of pre-orders is very small right now. So those who order first get read first. So you can read up more about that on my website. The link is in the description. All right, let's jump into this. Let's just see what we can tell you about your situation and the person that you're dealing with. Third week of September. How's it looking for Aries, universe? Whoa. Fool card reversed. Too scared to come forward. Could be a fellow Aries for some of you, I guess, but I don't know why they're scared to come forward. Did you maybe have a few choice words to say to them on their way out the door, maybe? And the Eight of Swords, ignoring the truth of the situation. Here's the thing, though. They know what they'd like to say to you. They know what they'd like to say to you. They just don't want to be the one to come forward and say it. So that Eight of Swords energy there. We may have talked about this last week. I don't really remember. But those of you wondering if they regret what they did or have had a change of heart, or here's another one that I get asked a lot. If you're wondering if they've had a wake-up call, they don't even believe they've done anything wrong. Now, how deep does that go into their unconscious? I don't know. I don't know if at the deepest level they do know they did something wrong and they're just talking themselves out of it so that they don't consciously have to sit with that energy, or if at the deepest pit of their core they truly, genuinely do not think they did anything wrong. I don't know. But yeah, just in case you're wondering, they haven't changed their stance on anything. Pretty much like they know what they want to say. You probably know what it is too. It's probably nothing new. Probably isn't anything they've already said before. If it is something new, it's probably a load of horse shit, you know. I don't think so, though. I don't think they have anything new to say to you. You know, so. All right, could be a Pisces for some of you. I have Aquarius, Taurus. Could be a fellow Aries. But it could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's see what's going on at the deepest level. How do they really see you and feel about you at the deepest possible level? See, they're having a much harder time moving on from this than they're letting on. Much harder time. They're trying to keep themselves busy and distracted by any means necessary. by any means necessary. They're trying to keep themselves busy and distracted. What's going on here? This is weird. Do I have two different Queen of Swords cards in this deck? Or is one of them the Page of Swords? I would imagine this is the Queen of Swords. Is this the Page of Swords reversed? Maybe? I don't think so. I'm going to have to look into that. That's weird. I have two women sitting on a throne holding a sword. I'm going to have to look into that. Anyway, no, here's the Page of Swords. What the fuck is this? This is weird. I've never noticed that. This is the second copy of this deck that I've had. I'm going to have to look further into that. That's bizarre. That's weird. Anyway, so they're trying to keep themselves busy and distracted. Okay, they're out there desperately trying to find somebody new because this is weighing on them much heavier than they're letting on. They're having a much harder time moving on from this than they're letting on. And yeah, so anywho, I'm going to set these two off to the side. I'm going to set this deck to the side. I've never noticed that. That is so bizarre. All right. Well, let's just get some advice. What advice do we have? Advice for Aries. Two of Swords. I'm sorry, Two of Wands reverse. So hang on. Ace of Swords reverse. This is saying, hang on, let me see why. Yeah, this is saying communication with this person would not be a good idea. Now, you know me, I'm not, well, with very few exceptions, very few, I'm not going to be the one to tell you what and what not to do, with few exceptions. If you do just absolutely want communication with this person, it's going to have to be you that does it. But this is saying it would not be a very good idea. I think this has to do with you really showing this person that you mean business. I think this has to do with this person knowing that you put your fucking foot down and you've made up your mind. I don't know, maybe some of you, have you gone on and off with this person before, maybe? So maybe some of you, I know this isn't all of you, but maybe some of you have gone through this before, where y'all went through a period of silence. And you folded under pressure and broke and came forward and reached out. Well, that told them that you have a weakness, right? Maybe that's not the case. Maybe they're just counting on hoping that you have a weakness. And whoever reaches out first is a rotten egg. Whoever reaches out first is the weak one, basically, you know? So when people think like that, I know that sounds so stupid and so childish and so petty because it fucking is. But when people think like that, what you have to worry about is the fact that they will try to use that against you. They will. So this person needs to know, no, you ain't gonna break, you ain't gonna give in. At least for now. At least while that boundary is, like, they need to accept that, oh, damn. Aries ain't fucking playing. Aries dead motherfucking serious. Holy shit. Okay. They need to know that. Let me tell you a little trivia about me. This is just me as a regular person. This isn't spiritual advice. This isn't any. This is just me as a regular old ass human. If I fall out with you, even if I am going to reach back out to you, which most of the time I do not, but if I was, no less than 1 year, no less, minimum. So you know I'm fucking serious. So that you fucking know. I can go another year, or another, or another, or I can go the rest of my fucking life. It's going to be no less than 1 year. That's my minimum. Just so you fucking know, I mean business. You know? It just sets a boundary so that they know that, oh shit, if I try to play that game again, it ain't gonna fucking work. You know? That's just the way I like to roll. It's never failed me. Just saying. But yeah, I think they need to know that you mean business. Okay. All right. What should I read next? Let's see. Last week I did what's coming in for the singles. Let's see what's going on with your love interest. Now let's try to switch it up. What is going on with Aries and the person that you're interested in? What's happening? And some of y'all interested in the Virgo, possibly. Kind of seems like this person's a little bit withdrawn. There could be a third party in the mix. Oops. This is one of the most common cards to come through when I read singles in your love interest. But I'm really honestly feeling like the person that you're dealing with is one hell of a fucking loner. Almost kind of feels to me like they would rather remain single, but here's what I think it is. I think this person wants to keep you at an arm's distance so you don't see them for who they really are. Now, I'm not saying that to indicate that they are a bad person. Not yet. We'll look at their energy here in a minute. But I'm not saying that they're a bad person yet. But it does look like they're bottling up a lot of shit. Oh, a whole lot of shit that they don't want to let nobody in on. Nobody. What is it? I don't know. Hey, they could be a shady person. I don't know yet. But they have a whole other aspect of themselves that they keep very, very close to themselves, that they don't reveal to nobody, you know? So it's starting to get a little bit frustrating, but you're still not moving on from this. Again, could be a third party in the mix. And again, like fucking clockwork, past energy. All right. Not much happening here, man. I'm not going to lie. They're not really letting you in. They're still keeping you at an arm's distance. The third week is probably looking like the last week, or depending on how long you've been interested in this person. Doesn't look like much is moving forward. Looks to me like you're dealing with somebody that just straight up wants to fucking be alone. Or maybe they just want to have their cake and eat it too. And I don't know if you ever thought about how reality works in this dimension, but that doesn't work. What happens if you try to have your cake and eat it too? The only way you can make that happen is if you eat your cake and have a piece of shit. It's the only way that works. Think about it. We're talking very literally here. You can't have your cake and eat it too unless you want to eat your cake and have a piece of shit. That's all you can do. Let's see how they feel about you at the deepest level. Let's see what are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. They got their options open. They got their options open. If they could, they'd be fucking around with several other people. Can't spy on the details of somebody's life, though, but they could. If they could, they would. I don't think they're trying to settle down with nobody. I don't think so. Like I said, I think at the end of the day, they would rather be alone, play around, play the field. I don't know why. This is telling me for some reason that they're about to walk away from this. Are you maybe putting a little bit of pressure on them? You know, maybe are you expressing your concerns? For whatever reason, I feel like that probably is the case. Let me clarify that real quick here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you are, aren't you? Oh, I think some of you are kind of starting to express your concerns here a little bit. And rather than say, shit, man, I don't want you feeling like that, let me try to alleviate your concerns. Now the tension's building. Because they know they ain't got no intentions of settling down. So as you're expressing your concerns, now the heat is building. Now they're afraid it's going to turn into this. Now they know this is coming. So they might just boot, scoot, and boogie on out of there. And at the end of the day, if you express a concern like a calm, cool, respectable adult, I cannot stress that enough. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you cannot come at somebody angry, aggressive, bitchy, shitty, and get mad when they defend themselves. You see a lot of that out there. I can't scroll Facebook without at least once or twice a day seeing a meme float by my timeline that says, stay away from people who think that every time you express how you feel, you're arguing. You know what I've noticed about everybody that says that? If you just step back and watch them, be quiet and watch them. First of all, every time they're expressing how they're feeling, they're always upset about something, always. It's never anything positive. They never express anything positive or happy or anything like that. They're always complaining, and they're very aggressive and very, very shitty and bitchy about it. And it's like, you know, a dog would bite you if you talk to it the way you're talking to that person. You can't come at somebody aggressive and then belittle them for defending themselves. That's toxic as fuck. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm throwing that out there in case somebody needs to hear that. Because I see a lot of that out there. Bring your concerns to the table like a calm, cool, respectable, collected adult. Right? And if you do that, and they still defend themselves and back away and run, well, then the universe is taking the trash out for you. Right? If I come at you cool, you know, with a cool, soft tone to my voice, not aggressive, not angry, not nothing. I'm just very matter of fact, and, you know, this is what it is. And I'm being as gentle with you as I possibly can while still speaking the truth like a mature adult, and you still get defensive and want to fucking run, later. Deuces. Let's see if there's any advice in here. Karmic wheel. Do the best you can to try to avoid creating karma. Do express your concerns and do so as calmly and cool as possible. And if that feels like you're putting pressure on them and they can't take that pressure, then let them fucking walk out the door then. Try not to let it blow up into some unnecessary drama. I get it, man. It can be so infuriating. Some people can just be so fucking ridiculous sometimes. I totally understand. But energy, frequency, and vibration doesn't give a fuck. It doesn't. I have heard people legitimately contend that if their intentions are pure, then that somehow makes them exempt from the universal law of vibration. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. If it worked like that, then good things wouldn't happen to bad people and bad things wouldn't happen to good people. Oh, I know everybody has at least asked that question once, right? Why do good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people? Because the primary law is the law of vibration. Even if you have benevolent intentions, if you put benevolent intentions behind a low vibration, that low vibration is still going to manifest. So the point being is that even if your feelings are 100% justified, 100%, doesn't matter. That energy is still going to manifest. It's still going to create a heavy karmic tie. It's still going to weigh you down, lower your vibration, and essentially just fuck up your energetic pathway. And you're going to have all this other energy and all this bullshit, you know, that you're going to have to sort through. It's just going to add more to it, you know, so. Man, this is saying, fucking let them walk away if that's what they want to do. Maybe after you express your concerns and they show you that they have no interest in alleviating your concerns, then maybe you should just fucking walk away. Maybe. And you know, if you stuck with me for a while, I don't always just jump straight to telling you to walk away. Because you shouldn't walk away unless you understand why you should. If you just walk away for no good reason other than the fact that I told you to and you trust me, that's not going to help you. That ain't going to help you unless you know why you should. But sometimes, hey, maybe that is the best path, is to just walk away. And the next time you're faced with a decision like that, maybe hopefully you can extract the wisdom from that and use that moving forward. All right, y'all. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Aries family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. So remember, information for personal readings is in the description. Also, if you're catching this on time, tomorrow, September the 13th, we're doing our next round of live readings on this channel, and you can pre-order on my website. Right now, the list of pre-orders is small. So if you order now, you'll be in the front of the line. I was saying at the beginning of the video, for those of you just now tuning in, last week, somebody got very pissed off because they got shoved to the end of the line. This is the reason why I say this at the beginning of every video. That's why I tell you, you can pre-order. All the readings will be timestamped in the comments. They're read in the order of which they come in. If you want to be in the front of the line, order first. I don't know what to tell you. That's the way we do it. So anyway, you can read up more about that on my website. The link is in the description. All right, y'all, I'm out of here now. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.